Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Very warm welcome to this Monday, 6th November 2023 morning Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam discussion. Today we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, entitled The Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 10, Text 46. Before we discuss on this verse, let's sing Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Janitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य सूत्र सदस्य श्रीमती जीवांगे शिला से भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Krishne Matirastu Hare Krishna. So today We are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text 46. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The verse is, ayaṁ tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpa savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ. Ayaṁ tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpa savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ. Ayaṁ tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpa savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ. Word by word, I am this process of creation and annihilation, tu, but, Brahmana, of Brahma, kalpa, his one day, savikalpa, along with the duration of the universes, udāhṛtaḥ, exemplified, vidhi, regulative principles, sādhāraṇa, in summary, yatra, wherein, sargāḥ, creation, prākṛta, in the matter of material nature, vaikṛtāḥ, disbursement. Translation: this process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is a regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed. Purport: there are three different types of creation called mahakalpa, vikalpa, and kalpa. In the mahakalpa, the Lord assumes the first Purusha incarnation as Karanodakshai Vishnu, with all potencies of the Mahat Tattva and the 16 principles of creative matter and instruments. The creative instruments are 11, the ingredients are 5, and all of them are products of Mahat, or materialistic ego. These creations by the Lord in his feature of Karanodakshai Vishnu are called Mahakalpa. The creation of Brahma and dispersion of the material ingredients are called Vikalpa. And the creation by Brahma in each day of his life is called kalpa. Therefore, each day of Brahma is called a kalpa, and there are 30 kalpas in terms of Brahma's days. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 8:17 as follows: Sahasra yuga paryantam aharyad brahmano vidhu ratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido jana. In the upper planetary system, the duration of one complete day and night is equal to one complete year of this earth. This is accepted even by modern scientists and attested by the astronauts. Similarly, in the region of still higher planetary systems, the duration of day and night is still greater than in the heavenly planets. The 4 yugas are calculated in terms of the heavenly calendars and accordingly are 12,000 years in terms of the heavenly planets. This is called a Divya Yuga, and 1,000 Divya Yuga make one day of Brahma. The creation during the day of Brahma is called Kalpa, and the creation of Brahma is called Vikalpa. When Vikalpas are made possible by the breathing of Mahavishnu, this is called a Mahakalpa. There are regular and systematic cycles of these Mahakalpas, Vikalpas, and Kalpas. In answer to Maharaj Parikshit's question about them, Shukadeva Goswami answered in the Prabhasa Khanda of the Skanda Purana. They are as follows: Prathama Shveta Kalpasya Dvitiyo Nila Lohitah Vamadevas Tritiyastu Tato Gathantaro Aparaha Rauravah Panchamah Proktah Shashtah Prana Iti Smritah Saptamo Atha Bruhat Kalpah Kandarpo Ashtama Uchyate Sadyotha Navama Kalpa Ishano Dashama Smritah Dhyana Ekadashah Proktas Tatha Saraswato Aparaha Trayodasha Udanastu Garudo Atha Chaturdasha Kaurmaha Panchadasho Jneya Paurnamasi Prajapate Shodasho Narasimhastu Samadhistu Tato Aparah Agneyo Vishnu Janah Saurah Somakalpas Tato Aparah Dvavimsho Bhavanah Proktah Supuman Iti Chaparah Vaikuntash Charstishas Tadvat Valikalpas Tatho Aparah. Saptavimsho atha vairajo Gauri kalpas tatha parah Maheshwaras tatha proktas Tripuro yatra ghatitah Pitra kalpas tatha chante Yat kuhur brahmana smata. Therefore, the 30 kalpas of Brahma are 1. Shvetakalpa, 2. Nila Lohita, 3. Vamanadeva, 4. Gathantara, 5. Raurava, 6. Prana, 7. Brihatkalpa, 8. Kandarpa, 9. Sadyota, 10. Nishana, 11. Dhyana, 12. Saraswata, 13. Udana, 14. Garuda, 15. Kaurma, 16. Narasimha, 17. Samadhi, 18. Agneya, 19 Vishnuja, 20 Saura, 21 Somakalpa, 22 Bhavana, 23 Supuma, 24 Vaikuntha, 25 Archesha, 26 Valikalpa, 27 Vairaja, 28 Gauri Kalpa, 29 Maheshwara, and 30th Paitra Kalpa. These are Brahma's days only, and he has to live months and years up to 100. So we can just imagine how many creations there are in kalpas only. Then again, there are vikalpas, which are generated by the breathing of Mahavishnu, as stated in Brahma Samhita. Yasyaika nishvasita kalam athavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanathah. The Brahmas live only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu. So the exhaling and inhaling of Vishnu are Mahakalpas. And all these are due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for no one else is the master of all creations. But before we discuss on this verse, let us offer some prayers. Om Jnanati Nirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Shreshtam Manamapi Shachiputram Matra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Murupurin Mathurin Koshthavati Radha Kundam Girivaram Maho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Adadandastranam Dante Idam Yacha Punah Punah Shriman Rupa Padambhojam Dhulisyam Janma Janmani He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text 46. Ayaṁ tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpaḥ savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ. Translation: the process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is a regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed. So this verse and the purport that Srila Prabhupada mentions has described very nicely the enormous duration of the existence of this, not only this material creation, but also the cause of the material creation as well. So Srila Prabhupada mentions about Mahavishnu, Karanodakshai Vishnu. So that is mentioned in Sri Brahma Samhita, where it is said, Yasyaika nishvasita kalam athavalambya. Nishvasita kalam. So when Mahavishnu or Karanodakshaya Vishnu is exhaling, all this Mahakalpa is getting formed. Mahakalpa is a combination where there is a combination of vikalpas and kalpas. So that is what Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. So vikalpa consists of the creation by Brahma, or the creation of Brahma actually. Vikalpa is the creation of Brahma. And when Brahma is created, he creates the different material brahmaṇa, as it is called, brahmaṇa. So there are innumerable brahmaṇas. Brahmaṇas means that is, those are the planetary systems that is created by a particular Brahma. And there is an interesting story in this regard where it is said in one of the scriptures about the Krishna. So the Brahma who is related to who is the creator of the planetary system that we live in is called the Chaturmukha Brahma, the Brahma with 4 heads. And there is the story which mentions about Krishna is asking his associate to summon a Brahma, another Brahma, in front of the Chaturmukha Brahma. And then the Chaturmukha Brahma thinks that he was the only Brahma. And so when he hears this, he gets really puzzled. He thinks that what is this? And then he sees that there are unlimited other Brahmas as well. So this is called Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayakan. So that is another name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Lord of the innumerable universes that are created. That is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when he is breathing, Yasyaika Nishwasita Kalam Athavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanda Natha. So Krishna is the Lord of all the Jagadandas, all the unlimited planetary systems that are existing. Vishnur Mahansa Ihayasya Kala Visheshu. Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So it is mentioned in Brahma Samhita that this Mahavishnu, Karanodakshaya Vishnu, is a plenary portion of this personality. Who is that? Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. He is Govinda, Krishna, the one who gives pleasure to the senses and to the cows. Govinda. Go, it means the senses or the cows, and Vinda means who gives the pleasure. So the real pleasure comes from within. It is not there in external objects. The real pleasure is understanding our eternal nature as an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. That's where the pleasure comes from. And whatever other so-called happiness that one experiences through senses is based on the presence of the pleasure that is already existing. So that is why there's it is yehi sansparshaja bhoga dukkhayona evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, that a Buddha bhava samanvita, so aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. So Buddha is an intelligent person. So the intelligent person, so yehi sansparshaja bhoga dukkha yonayavate adyantavanta kvante na teshu ramate buddha. An intelligent person does not get entangled in sense gratificatory attached pursuit. If something is coming to the senses, he is not averse to it as well. So this is the wonderful nature. Na prahrushyati priyam prapya no dvijet prapya cha apriyam. Sthiramathir asammudho brahmavid brahmani sthita. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, this is the quality of the person who is engaged in pure devotional service of Krishna. So sometimes some pleasant sensory inputs might come in to that person. So when the pleasant sensory inputs come in, na prahrushyati priyam prapya. When something priya, when something nice or pleasant is coming in, he's not getting overly rejoiced with that. Na prahrushyati priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya cha apriyam. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that when something that is not conducive to sense gratification comes in, the person is not too much bothered by that as well. So, sukha dukkhe same kritva. Again, Krishna mentions in another place that whether there is happiness or whether there is distress, same kritva, one is in the same equanimity. I think that is an extremely important quality of a person who is involved in devotional service of Krishna. Sthira matif. Mati is the mind. Mind is stable. It does not get. It does not go through this cycles of ups and downs. It is basically nearly in the straight line kind of situation. So that is the situation of peace, when one does not get too much agitated, either in extreme pleasure or in extreme distress, or in normal pleasure or in normal distress. This is based on one actually understanding that the real happiness, the real pleasure is within. That's why it is called Atma Ramascha Munaya. It is mentioned in the scriptures that the person who is rendering pure devotional service to Krishna is enjoying all the bliss within. That is called Atma Rama. Atma plus Arama. So within oneself, one is totally peaceful and satisfied. That is Arama. And then Rama. Ramante yogina anante satyanande chidatmani iti Rama padenasha param brahma abhidiyate. So as it is mentioned in the scriptures, the real yogi is constantly enjoying that bliss within. Anante. There is no end to that bliss. Whereas so the sense gratificatory enjoyment is, as it is said, sansparshaja. It is dependent on the senses coming in contact with the sense objects. Bhoga. And it is dukkha yona evate. It is a womb of sorrow. Why it is a womb of sorrow? Adyanta vanta kaunteya. Because it has a beginning and an end. Therefore, na teshu ramate buddha. So an intelligent person, it does not get entangled in that kind of situations. This is so one has to understand this amazing vastness of the creation, the amazing duration of the creation compared to what our present situation is. In a present situation, we are anyone listening to this who is in the human form of body, and the human form of body, it is wonderful possession that we have. It is actually a possession. Sometimes we think that the body is me, but actually body is something that we possess. Just like we possess our cloth, we possess our home, car, or whatever we have. We possess that. Similarly, we possess our body. And it is, and that's why Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya, navani grananti naruparani, tatha shariraya vihaya jirnani, anyani samyati navani dehi. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that just like a person takes off the old cloth and puts on a new cloth, similarly, the living entity gives up the old body and puts on a new body. And so he gives the example of the cloth. The body is like a cloth. And this is really important to understand, because the real spiritual journey starts with this understanding that our existence is eternal. It has no beginning and it has no end. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, na jayate mriyate va kadachit. never a point when one was born, and there's never a point when one will die. Nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya. There was never a time in past when we did not exist. We are existing in the present, and there was never a time in future when we will cease to exist. Ajah, unborn, nityam, eternal, shashvatoyam, again eternal. Ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano, the oldest. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. When the body is destroyed, our real existence does not get destroyed. We still continue to exist. And this is the beginning of spiritual existence. What is mentioned in this verse is the vastness of material creation and existence. So the process of creation and annihilation described. Paras tasmat tu bhavanyo vyakta vyaktat sanātana. Yasa sarveshu bhuteshu vinashatsu na vinashyati. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, aparayam itastu anyam vidhiḥ prākṛtim param. Jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharete jagat. So this is the situation of our original existence. It is paras tasmatu bhavanya vyakta vyaktat sanātana. So there is vyakta and avyakta. Vyakta is when something comes into existence, and avyakta is when something disappears, when something goes out of existence. So there is something Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, paraha tasmat tu bhavanya. There is something which is transcendental, which is divine, compared to all this material existence that we are living in. Paraha tasmat tu bhavanya, vyakta avyaktat sanātana. So it is eternally existing, and it is not dependent on creation and annihilation. Vyakta avyaktat sanātana. Yasa sarveshu bhuteshu vinashatsu na vinashyati. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that existence exists even when everything is annihilated. So this process of creation and annihilation is enormously huge. Just like here, the Divya Yugas and all are mentioned. Like for example, Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Then the Dwapara Yuga, which is the Yuga preceding Kali Yuga, is 864,000 years. Then the Treta Yuga, which precedes the Dwapara Yuga, has got 1,200,000 something thousands of years. And then 1.6 million of years, the Satya Yuga. And all of those four yugas combined is called a Divya Yuga. Then Divya Yuga, this is what is mentioned. So the creation and annihilation of the kalpas. The kalpas are every day the kalpa is getting created, and then the vikalpa is the creation of Brahmaji, and the mahakalpa is when Mahavishnu is exhaling. So when Mahavishnu is exhaling, the mahakalpa is getting formed. Then the Brahma is coming into existence. Shantakaram bhujakashayanam padmanabham suresham. That is what is a prayer for Mahavishnu. He is Shantakaram. He is totally, fully peaceful. Bhujakashayanam. He is lying down on Anantanaga, Anantashesha serpent. Bhujakashayanam padmanabham. From his navel, the lotus is sprouting. And on the lotus, Brahmaji is sitting. Padmanabham Suresham. He is the Isha, the Lord of all the Suras, all the demigods. Suresham. Padmanabham Suresham. Vishwadharam. He is the foundation for the whole existence. Not only the material existences that we see, but also the spiritual existences which we do not see in our current conditioned state of existence. Vishwadharam. He is the basis for the whole Vishwa. Gagana Sadrisha Meghavarnam Shubhangam. So he has got, his complexion is like that of the newly formed cloud. Gagana Sadrisha Meghavarnam Shubhangam. Lakshmi Kantam. He is most dear to Lakshmi ji. Lakshmi Kantam. Kamala Nayanam. His eyes are like the lotus petals. Lakshmi Kantam Kamala Nayanam Yogibhir Dhyana Gamyam. All the yogis are constantly dhyana avasthita tadgatena manasa pashyantiyam yogina. So that is mentioned in the scriptures about how the yogis, when they are totally meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they can see the Lord. Dhyana avasthita tadgatena manasa. So that is yogibhir dhyana gamyam. Vande Vishnum bhava bhayaharam sarva lokaikanatham. So it is mentioned about Mahavishnu, bhava bhayaharam. So Mahavishnu is removing the fear of material existence. Bhava bhayaharam. The material existence, at every step there is danger. It is called padam padam yat vipadan. So why it is danger? Because one thinks that one is this body, and one thinks that when the body dies, I am also gone. So that is the cause of fear. Bhayam dvitiya bhiniveshatah syat. Ishad apetasya viparyayo asmriti. So it is mentioned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that the fear happens because we think that there is something other than the Lord. That is the cause of fear. Dvitiya abhiniveshatah syat. Ishad apetasya viparyayo asmriti. So when there is asmriti, when there is forgetfulness of Krishna, viparyayo, ishad apetasya viparyayo asmriti. There is forgetfulness of Krishna and there is no Krishna consciousness, then there is fear. If there is Krishna consciousness, there is no fear. Why there is no fear? Because one knows that the Lord is caring for each and every living entity. Whether the living entity knows or the living entity does not know. At every moment, the living entity is being cared for by Krishna. That is the costless mercy of the Lord. So even someone who is antagonistic to Krishna, who is in a demoniac state of mind, namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama maya pahrita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, 4 kinds of people don't surrender onto me. And unfortunately, they are in a foolish state of existence. Namam dushkritino. Why they are in foolish state of existence? Because they are doing dushkriti. They are doing sinful activities. When one does sinful activities, one is unfortunately not able to surrender onto Krishna. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama, the lowest among the mankind. Maya pahrita jnana asurim bhavam ashrita. Naradhama, namam dushkritino mudha. So maya pahrita jnana. So one whose real knowledge has been kidnapped or taken away by the material energy of the Lord. This is naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavrita. Mudoyam nabi janati mamebhya paramavayam. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, he is not visible to everyone. That is the yam evaisa vrinute tena labhyas tasyaisa atma vivrinute tanam swam. It is mentioned in the scriptures, nayam atma pravachanena labhya na medhaya na bahuda shrutena. It is mentioned that our real existence and the attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be obtained through talks. Pravachana means talks. Nayam atma pravachanena labhya na medhaya na bahuda shrutena. Not through intelligence, nor through hearing from thousands and thousands of sources. Then how is the Supreme Personality of Godhead known? Yam evaisa vrinute tena labhyas. Whoever the Lord is giving the costless mercy, to that person the Lord is seen. And how does that costless mercy come? When satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, tasyaham sulabha partha ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityasha. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, that one who is constantly with the mind, ananya cheta satatam, always constantly, yo mam smarati, remembering Krishna, always. Nityasha, always. Tasyaham sulabha partha. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, for that person, I am easily available. O Partha, O son of Pritha, O son of Kunti Devi. Why? Because nitya yuktasya yogina. Because such a person is constantly endeavoring to remember me. Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yumam sameyukta tamomata. So Krishna mentions about different types of yogis. There is a karma yogi, who is offering the results of the daily activities to the Lord, momentary, every moment, whatever activities are. There is dhyana yogi, one who is meditating on the Lord through yogas, and then the bhakti yogi, the one who is engaged in loving devotional service to Krishna. So Krishna mentions in the end that among all the yogis, yoginam api sarvesham mad gaten antaratmana. Whoever has antaratmana, deep within oneself, one is totally surrendered onto Krishna. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. With full faith, one is rendering loving devotional service to Krishna. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomata. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that such a person is the topmost according to me. So this is Krishna personally saying how much he loves the devotee. Bhaktya to ananya shakya ahameva vidho Arjuna. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that to know Krishna, it is through bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Yavan yaschashmi tatvada. Tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that through bhakti you can know me. Yavan yaschasmi tattvata. And you can know me in truth. So, and this month of Kartik, where we are saying this Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Bhiolu Khalad Dhavamanam Paramrashtam Atyanta Todritya Gopya. So the Satyavrata Muni's composition of Damodara-ashtaka, it is a wonderful month where bhakti can be practiced in its topmost state. So this is the wonderful state of bhakti, where the Lord, who is called Ajita, the Lord is someone who cannot be conquered. So the unconquerable becomes conquered. This is what is the immense power of loving devotion for the Lord. He and that is why he does not award pure devotional service to everyone. It is very rare. So manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvata. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, billions and billions of living entities and human beings, sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Among them, very few try to attain perfection. Yatatam api siddhanam, even among those who are trying to attain perfection, kaschin mam veti tatvata. Very few know me as I am. And then Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita as well, Name vidu suragana, prabhava na maharshaya, aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. So Krishna says that even the great demigods do not know me. Even the great sages do not know me. Maharshinam cha sarvasha, aham adirhi devanam. Why they do not know? Because Krishna is the origin of everyone. So sarva karana karanam, as it is mentioned in Sri Brahma Samhita, he is the cause of all causes. So, aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. So in this verse, we can understand about the different kalpas, the mahakalpa, vikalpa, and kalpa. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, in the mahakalpa, the Lord assumes the first Purusha incarnation as Karano-Dakshaya Vishnu with all the potencies of the mahat tattva. So the mahat tattva is actually what is forming this material creation. But it is mahat tattva is being created by Brahmaji. And Brahmaji is being created by Karano-Dakshaya Vishnu. And so Karano-Dakshaya Vishnu's exhale is a mahakalpa. And it is 311 trillion years of age. So that is the age of, by human calculation, that is the age of Brahma. And Srila Prabhupada actually mentions in the purport as well that when we are going to the space, we are understanding that that the duration is higher than what the duration exists here. So say for example 6 months on an upper so 6 months will be passed in the in the earthly planetary system, whereas in the higher planetary system, it would be just 1 day. So depending on where the planet is situated, the duration of life is extremely high. But the whole concept here is, even though it is extremely high, it has to end. Abrahma bhona loka punaravartino Arjuna. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that from the Brahmaloka onwards, Brahmaloka is the topmost. Then there is Tapaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Swarloka, all the upper planetary systems, 5 upper planetary systems. And then we have Bhuloka, which is the middle planetary systems. And then we have the different lower planetary systems. So this is a Brahma Bhonal Loka. From the Brahmaloka down to all the Mahaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Swarloka, Bhuloka, and then from the bottom there is the Patala, all the different lokas, Thala, Vitala, Sutala. Those are all the planets which are hellish planetary systems. So Krishna mentions that down from the topmost Brahmaloka to all the other lokas underneath, Punar Avartino Arjuna. There is a constant cycle of birth and death. But but when one is in remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in terms of his divine pastimes. So this is what Krishna says, Janma karmam cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatha tyaktva deham punarjanmam naiti mameti so Arjuna. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that one who knows the divine nature of Krishna's birth and Krishna's activities, Janma karmam cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatha, in truth. So that is not a theoretical or something based on mental platform. It is a pure experiential knowledge of Krishna's divinity. So what does it mean, pure experiential knowledge? Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati. Stasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. That one sees that the Lord is present in the form of his energy everywhere. And even for a moment, the person cannot forget the Lord. Yena tena prakarena mana krishne niveshayat. Sarve vidhi nishedasyor etayor eva kinkara. As it is mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami, says that some way or the other fix the mind on Krishna. Yena tena prakarena. Sarve vidhi nishedasyor etayor eva kinkara. All the other rules and regulations are subservient to this main rule. What is the main rule? Some way or the other, remember Krishna. Because it is the mind that is the most important tool that we have in the human form of life. And the mind intelligence. So intelligence is basically being another aspect of the mind where the mind is able to, the intelligence is able to inform the mind that you do this or you do the other thing. So it is mentioned in the scriptures how Atma Nagvam Rathinam Vidhi Ratham Shariram Ratham Evacha. So it is mentioned in the scriptures that the charioteer, the person sitting in the chariot or the passenger in the chariot is the Rathina. It is the real us, who is always existing, and the body is like a chariot. So the passenger of the chariot is our soul, and the soul, the nature of the soul is to always be in connection with Krishna. So that is always. So that is why this process is called self-realization, because it's not something that is external to us. The love for the Lord is Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabonai. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Korayodai. So when we are hearing about the Lord, we understand that there was never a time when we were separate from the Lord. The separation is an illusion. It is an amazing situation that the Lord has created. So for everyone, literally everyone, the separation from the Lord is based on ignorance. So that is avidya. The ignorance causes asmita. So the yogas talk about pancha kleshas, the 5 kinds of difficulties that we have in the conditioned state of existence. It starts with ignorance. And because there is ignorance of our eternal existence, there is asmita. The asmita is the false ego. So then I start thinking that I am this body, I am this mind, I am this intelligence. Why it is caused? Because I am ignorant. Because of my ignorance, I think that I am this body, I am this mind, I am this intelligence. Asmita. Then because I have avidya and asmita, ignorance and the false ego, there is raga and dvesha. Raga is attachment, dvesha is aversion, attachment and aversion. So because my body and mind has got liking to some things, I'll be attached to those things. And because my body and mind is not liking something, I'll be averse to those things. So there is attachment and aversion. So it is starting with ignorance. Ignorance is causing false ego. False ego is causing attachment and aversion. And then the final thing is abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is fear of death. So everything is coming from avidya, the ignorance. And therefore it is said in the prayer, the Guru Vandana prayer, Preme Bhakti Yaha Hote Avidya Vinashayate. Vedegaya Yahara Charito. So beautiful prayer there. It is mentioning that when there is prema bhakti, when there is loving devotional service to Krishna, then avidya vinashe, the ignorance gets destroyed. When there is loving devotional service, ignorance gets destroyed. That is prema pumartho mahan, as it is mentioned. So aradhya bhagavan vrajesha tanaya tad dhamam vrindavanam. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy is mentioned in those verses. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that who is the worshipable Lord? He is the son of Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Nandana, Vrajesha Tanaya. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Tad Dhamam Vrindavanam. Where does he stay? He stays in Vrindavan. Ramya Kachit. How do we engage with this Lord, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, who stays in Vrindavan? Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Kalpita. As the Vrajavadhus, the gopis of Vrindavan, rendered loving devotion service to Krishna, that is the way to render service to Krishna. Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Amalam Puranam. How do we understand how these gopis rendered loving devotional service to Krishna? Reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. That is the spotless Purana. So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradhara Napara. So this is the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there is there is nothing, we cannot see anything superior to this. So as it is mentioned in the Kali Santarana Upanishad, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. So it is mentioned about the 16 syllables where there is Hare, Krishna, and Rama. So the main 3 transcendental seed of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Hare, Krishna, and Rama. The 3 transcendental seeds. And the same names, the 3 names are being repeated in 16 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so we have 16 syllables. It is Shodashakam. So Shodashakam is 16 syllables. But the 3 Bija mantras are Hare Krishna and Rama. 3 Bija mantras in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The seed mantras. And they are being repeated 16 times. The 3 seed mantras. So Shodashakam Namnam. What is happening when these 16 syllables are being repeated? Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. It is destroying all the impurities of this age of Kali. So Nata Parataropaya. It is said that there is no other solution in this age of Kali. Because Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan. So it is mentioned by Srila Shukadeva Goswami himself. Srila Shukadeva Goswami is the liberated personality. Even when he was born liberated. Yeah, he actually did not want to come in the conditioned material world, but in order to serve the Lord, he actually took birth, and immediately he was in the renowned state. So that was the wonderful situation of Shukadeva Goswami. And he is saying that to Parikshit Maharaj. Who is Parikshit Maharaj? He was saved within the womb of his mother by Krishna himself from the brahmastra of Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama wanted to kill all the Pandavas and their family. So he was he was within the womb of his mother, Parikshit Maharaj, and Ashwatthama had that kind of nuclear weapon which could just come and just so that was a brahmastra. It's like a nuclear weapon that is so precise that it can go to one particular location and just destroy that particular individual in totality. So that was the power of the Vedic age, the power and the mantras and the whole perfection that existed. But Krishna himself became the shield for Parikshit Maharaj within the womb. So this is a greatness of Parikshit Maharaj. So this is the pure devotees of the Lord. So that's why Krishna says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. So, O Arjuna, you declare it on my behalf that my devotee shall never get vanquished. So this is the wonderful nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he sometimes the devotee might unfortunately, due to various conditions in the material existence, the devotee might roam away from the path. But the Lord never forgets the devotee. The Lord is always there. Upadrashta hanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmiti cha apyukto dehesmin purushapara. As it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita by Sri Krishna, that he is there as the Upadrashta, the overseer, and Anumanta, the permitter. So even for the people who are antagonistic to Krishna, even the demons, but the only thing about the demons is that they have gone to such an extent of ignoring Krishna. And ignoring Krishna is the actual ignorance. The real ignorance is when, and that is what unfortunately the demons are. The demons want to ignore Krishna. And unfortunately, because of that, they are in ignorance. But when we remember Krishna, that is knowledge, the real knowledge. That is the Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyate. So when there is real knowledge, one surrenders onto Krishna. If there is knowledge, but that is not leading to surrender, then unfortunately Shrama eva hi kevalam. Dharma swanushtita pumsan vishwakshena kathasuya notpadiyat retim yadi Shrama eva hi kevalam. It's just a hard labor. If one is doing all the dharmic activities, engaging in all the religious activities, understanding the transcendental knowledge, but one is not developing attachment to hear about Krishna. Vishwakshena kathasuya notpadiyat ratim yadi. Rati is attachment. Then Shrama eva hi kevalam. It is just a hard labor. So somehow or other, one has to fix the mind on Krishna. And when the mind is fixed, then the Lord is there with the devotee. Therefore, Krishna says, Man mana bhava. So Krishna says, give your mind to me. Mad bhakta, become my devotee. Madhyaji mam namaskaro. Offer your prayers to me, offer your obeisances to me. Mame vaishyasi yuktvayam atmanam mat parayana. So when you are fully filled up with me, with my remembrance, atmanam mat parayana, you will come back to me. Mame vaishyasi yuktvayam, mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. In another place, Krishna says that you'll surely come to me, O Arjuna. This is the truth. And I'm telling this to you because you're very dear to me. Prati jane priyosi mein. So this is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he is always there with the living entities. Whatever condition the living entity is in, the Lord is always there with them. And it's just that momentary remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just a momentary remembrance. That's all it is needed in the beginning. And then that momentary remembrance can keep increasing until it becomes a permanent remembrance. And then when it is a permanent remembrance, then it does not matter where one is located, where one is situated. One can be swarga, apavarga, narakeshu. So that is a wonderful verse in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. One can be in heavenly planet, one can be in the middle planetary systems, or one can be in the lower planetary systems. It does not matter. Where one is situated does not matter. Why? Because the mind is fully focused on the Lord. And when the mind is focused, automatically everything else gets focused. And this is what we are trying to do when we are discussing these verses here. For example, this particular verse, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 2:10-46, ayaṁ tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpa savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ. So the translation is, this process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed. So the main points that we can understand from this verse Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is talking about 10 topics. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanam utaya ishanukatha nirodho muktir ashraya. This is a creation and sub-creation. So that is the topic that is being talked about here. And then there is the topics about Krishna, ishanukatha. So nirodha, mukti, ashraya. The last is ashraya, total shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the conclusion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, that when one is taken total samashritaye padapallava plavam, when one has taken complete shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, and taking that feet as the ship that helps one to cross the ocean of birth and death, then the ocean itself becomes like a hoof print in the foot of a calf. So samashritaye padapallava plavam mahat padam punyeshu murare bhavam buddhi vatsa padam param padam yat vipadam natesham. So even though in the material world, in the conditioned state of existence, there is different distresses at every step, because one has totally surrendered onto Krishna, samyak rupena ashrita, total surrender, total dependence, total love and remembrance of Krishna. When that is the state, then padam yat vipadam natesham. There is no vipada. There is no, even if there is vipada, there is this wonderful prayer from Kunti Devi. Vipada santuta shashvat tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yat syat apunar bhava darshanam. So this is the wonderful nature of pure devotee of Krishna, like Kunti Maharani, Kunti Devi, where she says that Krishna, whenever we were in distress, you were personally present there to protect us. So if that is the case, then let this distress always keep befalling on me, because you are personally present, and when you are personally present, we won't see this cycle of birth and death. So this is the wonderful purity of love for Krishna. Then even if there is a greatest guru napi vichalyate yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tata yasmin sthitena dukkhena guru napi vichalyate. So when one is engaged in pure loving devotion service of Krishna, one will understand that there is nothing greater than this. Chaparam labham manyate nadikam tata. And in that situation, even the greatest difficulties will not disturb one. Yasmin sthitena dukkhena guru napi. The greatest difficulties will not vichalyate, will not disturb one. So with that prayer that we can always remember Krishna at every moment, I would like to conclude this discussion. Thank you very much for listening. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna, all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna, all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Deshitarine. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Krishne Matirastu. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.